to, again, include that date code because, guys, and I did look. I looked at eBay listings. Yeah, Z-16 780. Yes, well, technically that's kind of how it comes back because the number goes back. But your date code shows that it was a
different year,
Holley reman, not a reman, but a Holley carburetor for the service industry, which would replace
over-the-counter replacement. Yeah,
that application
probably came through from somebody bought that from a Chevy dealership or a AC Delco outlet or something like that,
and at some point a speed shop or wherever.
Yeah. But it was it had intention for that particular vehicle.
But probably what I'm going to do with that one is, again, I had already cleaned it up. It's disassembled. It's really in nice shape. It needs a base plate, which I have at home. That's something that I should toss up on eBay and say,
heck yeah,
here's your Universal 780. It's a dual feed single pump, not double pump.
Right.
That one is also I'm trying to remember, I think that has a vacuum secondary on it.
Yeah, well, that's part of that's the hallmark of the 3310 is that it's got vacuum secondaries,
right?
Which makes it such a versatile carburetor.
Oh yeah,
because I've seen people use them on small blocks, on big blocks. Chevy used to use that on the LT1s and the Camaros and the Corvettes in 1970. You would think a car like that would have some massive
the LT1,
some massive double pumper. Nope, 780. Yeah, right. That was the stuff.
All right, so we're going to take another break, Joe. I need you to limber up your fingers because you're going to play the intro to this song for us. And
all right. Cracking knuckles.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit. You got to be kind of quick. So let's do that. And if not, we'll just go light up the barbecue and we'll
plug it in,
and we'll have a couple of little doggies. But we'll be back with Motormouth Radio in a few minutes. Keep it where you got it.
Hey, you in the car. Yeah, you're a fan of the music of Sly Stone. I know you are. No reason to hide it. You've probably been looking for a radio program that highlights his music. Well, then look no further. Let me introduce myself. I am DJ Solero. That's Soul followed by Air and an O. Solero. Well, never mind about that. Back to what we're both here to talk about. The Sly Stone Show features the music of Sly through the various artists who have covered and sampled his music, and I'll be playing some of the original music that helped impact a generation. Come on, I know you're looking for some feel-good music, so just keep your radio right here for the Sly Stone Show. And you might want to think about cleaning up your car before we start. This thing is nasty. Oh, back to what's important. It's the Sly Stone Show every Friday afternoon at 3 on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
This program is brought to you by the Westbury Food Truck Festival, happening Saturday, October 7th at 3 p.m. in the parking lot of the NYCB Theater at Westbury.
Take a bite of the food on 4 wheels, plus games, prizes, and other fall fun.
For more information, visit venue.thetheater@westbury.com.
Hey, have you seen DJ Solero?
No, why?
Well, he was supposed to be here right now to tell everyone about his show, The Rare Groove Session, but I can't find him anywhere.
I'll keep my eyes peeled. Maybe he went to get something to eat.
Food? He went to get food? I mean, who can eat at a time like this?
Relax. I'm sure everyone will figure out when they can listen to the most incredible music from the 60s and 70s that they may have not heard before.
But what if they can't? What if they never figure out when the Rare Groove Session is on? What happens then, huh? I don't want to live in a world where no one knows about the Rare Groove Session.
Hey guys, ready to tell everyone about RGS?
DJ Solero, where the have you been?
I was getting something to eat.
How can you eat at a time like this?
What are you talking about?
Don't mind her. Go ahead. Tell everyone when to listen.
Okay then. If you're looking to hear some mind-blowing music, check out the Rare Groove Session Friday nights at midnight on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
All right, my baby is back, and I don't know what to do. So we are good work on the lead-in, Joe, and the hot dogs taste fantastic.
Yeah, and we're gonna need more ketchup. I'm one of those people that I'm a ketchup guy. Yeah. My daughter and I, what do they say, Texans and mental patients?
I don't know. That's very curious. The things you learn on Motormouth Radio, folks. You can't get this anywhere
You
else.
notice that red spot on my shirt now. That was not that nobody shot me,
Got it.
See, you never know.
Yeah. So, listen, now on, again, Motormouth Radio, give us a call.
All right, I freaked them out now.
Yes, 516-572-7440. Follow us on Twitter at Motormouth Radio. And, of course, our website, website, motormouthradio.com. Send us an email, motormouthradio@ncc.edu. But for now, we're going to switch from the fuel side and go to the electric side, and I want to talk about, bad grounds. So I don't know how I don't know how you want to attack this. It's like saying, "Can you tell me about the weather?"
Okay,
But you had an interesting thing at the shop this week.
Oh, we had a couple of them actually. Well, first of all, just to start off on the 1 foot, is that you need ground as much as you need power. Okay,
absolutely.
Usually, I get questions about, well, I put this part in, it still doesn't work. I got power to it, and it's still, I turn the key, I hit the button, and I still got nothing. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but what about the ground? And they're like, well, you didn't check that yet. Well, what part of part of a bad ground? Blah blah blah. My usual. And let's see. For starters, we had this late '90s Buick. Like a LeSabre, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And they call me up, and it's like, okay, car won't start. It's got no fuel pressure. Sometimes it's got about 10 pounds of fuel pressure, which we really should have like 40 at that point. Mm-hmm. And we're on fuel pump number 2. And I got power to it. And we changed the relay. And could you tell me maybe the computer's not... I'm like, dude, the computer's turning the relay on. I mean, how could you be mad at that? So we get over there, the car's on the lift. And we have the cars up in the air, got the fuel gauge dangling down so we could see what if we're doing anything. And the guy that's working on it, the mechanic assigned to the job there, he's got his trusty power probe, which I used to not like. But as
I know that, you've mentioned
as time goes by, it's really easy to fry something or have a pretty spectacular light show.
Just
at some point.
To divert for half a second, and the reason that happens is because the power probe is a self-contained.
Yeah, it's got 2 big cables. I mean, It's great. It's got like 20 feet of cable. You go right to the battery with it, and you could pretty much walk around the car with it. And you could, you want to work on something under the hood, you want to work on something in the trunk. You got enough cable to do it. And by pushing the right button, you can apply power or ground to it, as somebody is doing to that Bowman, the phone thingy over there. Mm-hmm. And let's see what they got to say for themselves.
Let's do that. Let's go to the phones and say hi. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, how you doing today?
Very good. Who are we speaking with?
This is Joe.
Oh, Joe. Yeah, Joe.
Hey.
Joe the Undertaker. Again, very good, Joe. What's happening?
Talking about stories with flooding your carburetor or whatever, or actually intakes, I should say.
Uh-huh.
Carpooling with a friend of mine, torrential rains. We were making through a puddle perfectly fine. The air scoop was high enough, no problems, until some guy in a pickup truck decided that since he's so far up, he could just barrel right through.
Mm-hmm.
Sent a wave right up into the intake.
Oh, no. Here we go.
What kind of car was that, Joe?
I think it was a Dodge Shadow. I don't know.
Okay.
It's like 30 years ago, so it's difficult to remember.
Right.
Yeah, at that point, it probably just became a...
submersible.
It was a shadow of itself, yeah. At that point, it was time to put on the flotation device and get the heck out.
And the flippers.
Yep.
Yeah, well, surprisingly enough, as long as you didn't really give it too much gas, we were able to limp home.
Okay.
That was just enough to, didn't bend any rods or anything like that. We babied it the entire way.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And then back to last week's show. I think it was about, I forget now, is it a month or 2 ago?
No, last week's show was last Sunday.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that with the Batmobile.
Oh, yeah.
It was at the Nassau Coliseum. In fact, I got Lee Merriweather's autograph over there.
Oh, that's way in the past that you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was, I'm trying to think now. That was like the Long Island Comic-Con. That's how they build it. So.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was at the car show. Typically, the Thanksgiving weekend car show, there was a Batmobile over there. Yeah, Batmobile. Yeah, that's kind of like a Happy Meal, but in the Batcave.
Exactly. Yeah.
I thought that's what you were referring to. I'm sorry, Joe.
No. This was, like I said, at Nassau Coliseum. They were doing the. I forget what they were billing it as. My memory is not working today. So.
Yeah. And you expect us, like, that ours will be?
Yeah, right.
Somebody's phone's going off. I think it's I don't know. Okay. That's kind of strange. Yeah, but do you have one of those interesting... That's
interesting. I'm sorry, Joe. We're just responding to some odd noises in the studio here.
Seriously.
But
Yeah, so they must have had a Comic-Con there or something like. Yeah, of course. But, it's got Batman
they had
there.
it. Like I said, I don't remember. I think it was like
yeah. Okay.
August, I think it was.
Yeah,
They did it.
The you know that one of the main Batmobiles lives right here in Mineola at the AutoZeum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. That one, or was it one of the new generation Batmobiles? Which one?
No,
was it?
it was actually they had the new generation and they had the original.
Ah, okay. Could never have enough Batmobiles.
And the problem is, there's so many. There are some clones out there that look pretty close, but you you never really know unless you have someone there who can document it, or you know how to document one of those. There's a
Adam West butt print.
Well,
in
there
the
you go.
seat.
Right.
The bat butt.
They had a few different vehicles over there. They had, like I said, the one of the movie Batmobiles, supposedly. I'm not sure.
Right.
They also have, there's a pair of guys running around with the car from Supernatural.
Okay.
Oh, that 67 Impala?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's cool.
Well,
They got their own version of it.
I got to tell you this, Joe. Right here in Mineola, one of the real documented Batmobiles resides.
Yeah, we were just discussing that when you were running out with that thing that was about to explode there.
At the AutoZeum. Okay, good. You covered that.
Right.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, cool stuff. All good.
By the way, did you bring the fire extinguisher back?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. Yeah, because, after that thing went off there, it's a real mess.
Yeah, there was, I think...
I'm not cleaning that up.
No, there was a little plutonium crystal meltdown, and that was the alarm. So we had to get that out of the studio so we don't have a...
Yes, we don't need to have any we don't need to have any more of Nassau County's fine emergency services showing up.
We need to keep the Motormouth Radio holodeck in the order and the way we found it as we leave it. It has to be
because it gets frowned upon. And the next thing you know, we're both in here with those coveralls and
mops.
The mop and the broom and I don't know. It's just
So what else is going on, Joe? Anything interesting in the car world? What are you playing with these days?
Really nothing. Just unfortunately working too many hours and whatever, and just keeping things running.
Nice. Yeah, I was just out your way yesterday, out in good old Suffolk County. I took my wife out to one of our favorite diners in Islip, and I hadn't been out there in a while. And I was curious if the guy I knew still was one of the owners, and I saw him. Not only that, he remembered me by name. He's like, "Hey, Ray." I was like, oh, "Christ, I haven't seen this guy in a couple of years, and he remembers me by name."
You leave an impression.
Yeah, well, I guess it was when I had that diamond ring that said R-A-Y, and I hit him in the forehead.
I was going to say, it's kind of like, when you get up and like the doorknob or something hits you in the head, and you walk around with that thing. That's going to leave a mark.
Exactly.
You leave a mark, Ray. What can I say?
That could be good or bad. I don't know.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
So, Joe, what would you like to be doing if you had more time with cars or automobilia stuff?
Oh, well, as you were saying before, with the way they're going with the cars, you can't even tinker around with things and rebuild things. It's just so many different improvements, and just
complexity.
Complexity is just insane.
Yeah.
Because people try. Unfortunately, that's the thing too. People try fixing stuff.
Well, Joe's always liked older stuff, like we do. He does like that,
right? Yeah, but as long as Joe, Joe seems to have a clue. Like some of these people, you'd be surprised where ignition wires end up.
And I got to tell you, just
like I always said, I just have enough knowledge to be dangerous.
Like I got to say this because this is notable, Joe. When I started doing this show with Chris and Mikey T, that's back in 2004. You were a regular caller, so you are a Motormouth Radio OG. You go back all the way, probably before me. So I just want to make that clear to people know that, we do have some staying power with some people.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that my mechanical knowledge is all that great. It's just that my Murphy's Law knowledge is good.
Well, yeah, neither is ours, but we just, we're able to fake it a little bit.
We're all friends of Mr. Murphy. Let's face it. I should say Mr. Murphy knows us.
There was, I
remember with my first car, the one thing that I learned was make sure you change the filter with the oil pump.
Oh, yeah. There was a poster we had in the lab years ago that said Murphy's Law, and it had all these, 50 different things. And the next poster, which was the secondary one, said why Murphy was an optimist. And then there were another, 50 or 100 things like, oh, God, that's got to be good.
Yeah. Let's face it, you get used to just stuff going awry, and then somebody has to clean it up or at least figure it out.
Exactly.
And that would be us,
Yep.
Yeah.
But also my downfall is the lack of tools. So I remember with changing out that oil pump, I wound up jacking up the car, blocking up the motor, disconnecting the motor mounts, dropping the car down, blocking between